All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sketches at Breakfast. I'm Rob Duenas. 1 second, please. Didn't do much talking this morning. So, what am I doing? I have to ink two Wolverines. Dos Wolverines. It's Memorial Day, which means I technically don't have to work because, you do your time in the Army. You're supposed to get these days off. But, just like an Army, we always work on holidays. So, that's how it goes. I've already drawn this Wolverine before. This is the yellow and blue Wolverine. I kind of fucked that hand up. So I have corrected the hand digitally, and then I'm going to ink two of them for saucy painting. One will be the yellow and blue Wolverine, and then I made some adjustments for the brown and yellow Wolverine. So we'll have those Wolverines. That's what I'm gonna do right now. This is Kansan mixed media paper, Kansan XL mixed media paper. It's 300 GSM. It's really nice, weighty. I'm going to be inking with burnt sienna waterproof ink. It's a Rohrer and Klinger. And I'll be using a Delator Maru nib, comic Delator. And this is a Griffle number 47. So pen holder, whatever you want to call that. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm putting some music. If anyone's out there wants to say hi, chat, got any questions, feel free to ask. The chat window is open. Otherwise, leave your comments below, and I will answer them as I get to them. So here we go. We'll start with the yellow and blue Wolverine. Where'd I put my ink? It's in my little ink holder. Oh, here it is. Okay. And I got my scratch paper, right? Scratch paper. There we go. Scratch paper. Move my mouse so I don't ink right over this shit. Make sure that's dry. Careful you don't put your hand over wet ink. The trick is to kind of keep the paper stretched a little bit. I've tried stretching it down, but it just that creates more troubles. So I like to rotate the paper. It's a whole thing. So I just like to take my fingers and stretch it a little bit. Have I ever tried drawing? I've drawn them with LBE and stuff before that was popular. Um, when I get to doing Captain America, I'll probably do a classic version. I might do a World War II version. I did this pinup of him back in 2007. Gave him full battle, grenades, LBE, giant super gun. People were like, Captain doesn't wear LBE. I'm like, yeah, he does. He doesn't carry a gun. He sure he would. He's a soldier. Then the movie came out. People stopped saying that shit. The trick is painting it. It's not that. It's just when you have tons of details, it can be a bit of a pain. That's why I spent a lot of time working on. Like when I did the Deathstroke, that was an example of being able to paint a bunch of those little details and it work out. Because I did one. Well, I mean, I gave him full battle when I did the Sazi Avengers back in 2012, but it was kind of a pain to paint. Uh, Now I could do it. Mm. I'm not going to be doing any Avengers art for a while, though. I'm not interested. So it'll be a while before I get around to that. I've drawn enough Captain Americas and Iron Mans over the last few years. Yeah, no big deal. But I got some Punisher stuff coming up and some Cable and all that, so that'll be fun. When I draw the Cap and those guys again, I'll have like a classic version, like Marvel superheroes, or remember Captain America and the Avengers, the video game? Because what I'm doing is all this stuff will get worked back into Game Cave. So as I sort of get around to those games, I'll do this as well. And I might do like a couple bonus versions. Like if I got a Cap, I'll probably take the same pose and I can put a bunch of LBE and shit on them. Do the World War II version. Like I could see myself painting, Vision as green and yellow and red, but also painting, the all white version. I can see that. How do I keep my stuff so Stanley doesn't say, well, in Game Cave it goes with the video game review. So what are they going to say? It's a review for a video game. So like this is going to go with the review for Children of the Atom. Nice 6,000 word review with game screens and the whole thing. But if you were just to produce your own sketchbooks, they're not going to say shit. You just can't make your sketchbook called, GA Artists X-Men sketchbook, Make sure the cover art doesn't have X-Men on there. And you can put whatever you want in the sketchbook. Look, do yourself a favor. Don't get so caught up on like who owns what and what doesn't own. I don't own X-Men. I don't claim to own X-Men. Marvel owns the X-Men. They don't own my art. They can't take your fan art and put it on a t-shirt and sell it. You own your art. So you're welcome to sell your art. They don't own that, you know. Now, when you start to market yourself as GA, the X-Men artist, and you're using their names and logos, and you're marketing yourself with their trademarkable names and logos, then that's a problem. But what comic book company is going to be stupid enough to go after an art? All they can do is tell you to take it down. And by the way, I've gotten those things. I've already been through all this. I've had Marvel giving me takedown. I had Marvel call up my work and have me lose my job. So I'm not afraid of fucking Marvel. You know, they couldn't do anything. By the way, I'm like, do they own the art? Well, no, but we don't want to piss them off, so we're gonna get rid of you. Okay, great. Matter of fact, they didn't even get rid of me. See, I'm being too nice. All they did was fucking complain, and I left. Put it that way. And they complained at another place, and I left. I don't want to get riled up. you know. If you don't feel comfortable with it, don't draw X-Men. Do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to be bullied by a fucking company that sits around claiming it's all about, superheroes and justice and shit. You know? No, it's not you. It's just I fucking hate Marvel. I love the X-Men. I love the characters. I love the creators. I hate the fucking company. Marvel Films is better than Marvel. Marvel Comics is a fucking horrible shit place. I don't like them. You know, I don't like the company. But I can separate my dislike from Marvel. For my love, I got into Marvel Comics because of the artists, and then there was this great run of Capcom games, right? When I was a kid, like Marvel Superheroes, Children of the Atom, The Punisher, remember the side scroller? So I got into Marvel like through games. So, but they can't do anything about a game review that happens to have some artwork I drew in it, you know? They tried to fuck with me on my YouTube channel back in the day when they were trying to like complain about me painting. It didn't go anywhere, you know? It's just Marvel has a legal department and they have to justify getting paid every year, so they'll send a million cease and desist, but they don't own your fan art. I know because I've been in the licensing meetings when they were like, do not use fan art because artists own the art. They didn't never expect that I would fucking draw fan art, you know? Why are you drawing fan art? Well, because I'm a fan. You know, they don't really expect t-shirt artists to be able to draw at a level that, you know, Marvel typically pays artists to draw. So, yeah. Captain America and the Avengers is one of my most favorite side scrollers of all time. That was the shit, man. Play that in the arcade. All four players. That was fun. All the classic style characters, Crossbones. I don't care for the 3D versions. Maybe like Spider-Man 2 and that Hulk game they made back in 2005. Probably the last time I liked a 3D Marvel game. X-Men Legends. That was fun. The first one. They had like the retro levels where you can be like classic. There were just some shitty Marvel games. Remember all the ones on Nintendo? That shit sucked. LGN. God, those were horrible. But yeah, there were these weird top-down shmups. Hey, what's up, Artie? This, let me see if that's make sure that's getting in there, man. We're almost done with this guy, then we got one more I gotta do. Alright, let me make certain that's down there. Oh, nice. The Punisher side-scrolling game from Capcom, like Final Fight, it's called The Punisher. That shit was awesome. It's one of my favorite. I like the classic Punisher when he had the white boots. Totally unfucking realistic, right? Like, but I like it. The classic Konami X-Men arcade cab, 6 players. That one I didn't play as much because it was like super expensive. I think at the time it was like 50 cents a play. So I didn't play much of it. I'd watch it. I just didn't play a lot of it. Yeah, who wants an action game top down? Alright, so that's one Wolverine. And that needs to dry. And then we'll get the second Wolverine. And we'll do this again. Oh, dude. Uncharted's amazing, right? I wish their superhero games were a little bit more story focused. That's why I'm looking forward to the Telltale's making that Batman game, so it won't just be Batman, you know, spinning around and God of War and bad guys all the time, right? It'll be like you can actually have them do stealth and you could put a story in there. Cope over Prismacolor. Yeah, I do prefer Cope. Oh shit! Gotta let me know it's on camera. Gotta prefer Copic markers to Prismacolor. Yes, I do. you can refill Copic markers. So, but if you're limited budget, you can use the Prismas. Just don't buy the packs. Always go as light as you can. I guess, yeah. I haven't used Prisma markers in 10 years, so all I use is Copic now. I have like a billion of them, so. Yeah, the problem with the packs are the colors are too dark. They throw a lot of dark colors in there. You can always go darker, but you want to start light. Otherwise, it ends up looking like you color with Sharpies. Do you do a bunch of sketches? I do silhouettes. I work on the silhouette first. So I don't do a ton of sketches, I just work on the silhouette. Sometimes I nail it the first time, sometimes I kind of adjust just that blocky shape. And I can see into the shape, so I know where I want to go with it, and then I'll draw into that shape. So I don't spend a ton of time working out poses in that respect. Some more time on the shape. But I mean, it can be anywhere from 15 minutes, 5 seconds sometimes. Sometimes that shape comes right to you. Other times, not so much. Depends on the character's detail, how many characters are going to be in a piece. If they're going to be next to, like, let's say I plan on having a bunch of these X-Men characters next to each other, right? Like on a print. Then I want to make sure they all kind of like, you pull back the sketches or the silhouettes and make sure they all sort of like line up. That's why I've been doing the art tip videos or the sketches at breakfast with the silhouettes, so people can kind of see like how I work that out. Cool part about a silhouette is you can do that in between work. So if you got 5-10 minutes, in between your work and dinner, you can sketch out some silhouettes. I try to put all my effort in the drawing where it needs to be at the time it needs to be. So rather than spend all my time working on a bunch of poses and drawing a bunch of anatomy that I'm not going to use, I'll work on a solid black shape, a blob of paint, right? And then I can spend all my time drawing tons of details if they have them. Or in this case, spending more of my time, inking two of these. So I got two versions, or in this case, also painting, a couple versions, which to me is a better way. In terms of designing a pose, yeah, I'll figure out a tutorial on that. In terms of drawing with silhouettes, they're already up. You can find quite a few of those already up. In the art tips videos, I got designing with silhouettes. You can see me going over the Darksiders stuff. And then I just did two sketches at breakfast videos where one I randomly sketch, but then the second one you can see where I take the blob and draw into it. But there are a few silhouette poses videos already up in the art tips folder. Hey, what up, Kyle? I'm going to be drawing some Rick and Morty today. I'm going to wrap up those roughy lines and try to get it drawn too. We'll see how that goes. I want to get your roughy lines done. I want to get the Bayonetta roughy lines done. We'll see about how far I can get on drawing between those two, because I got to get that shit wrapped up. Move on with life. Yeah, there's an art tips playlist and a sketches at breakfast playlist. I would definitely search in there. You can even do a search in my videos for silhouettes. That'll bring up a few. Yeah, I gotta make it certain it looks like Gary and Sleepy Gary and what's his face? Jerry and Gary are like hugging, but I don't want them to look like they're not having Nook back there, or nothing, bro. Like, they gotta clean that up a little bit. I want to have it to where like holding on to one another for dear life. I gotta add all those imaginary friends, monsters, whatever. Oh yeah. He's sorry he doesn't have any. You don't have any bad memories of each other. Yeah, everyone's drawn Deadpool. I have a print I have to do soon. It's already the roughie's done, so I'm jumping around. it'll be him, he's on top of a taco truck. I'm gonna draw a bunch of X-Force pluses and shit, and grenades and chimichangas and shit, so. I try not to think about what people want. I try to think about, like, what I really want to draw, and how that lines up. Like, I'm not drawing Wolverine because an X-Men movie just came out. Like, just coincidentally speaking, you know, I have to do some kind of saucy painting because I'll I'll lose. I'll forget what I've been doing if I don't. So I have a list of comic and a list of video game stuff to get around to painting. So it's a long list of X-Men characters to get there. So I'll probably jump around a little bit. Like there'll be a few X-Men, then I'll draw some DC dudes and some Spawn, shit like that. Maybe a Max. Some of it's just stuff I would just want to paint. I got a Max and Pit. Maybe even a Tick at some point. That'd be fun. Did I change that yet? I have both. You missed. See? Look at that, Kyle. I definitely want to get to some Full Metal. That's on my list. Hey, thanks for hanging out, GA. Anytime, dude. Appreciate it. Have fun with those markers. Check out the playlist, man. But there'll be more. Awesome. All right, well, I think that'll do it. Dose Wolverines in 1 hour. So about 30 minutes to ink each, right? That's that. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will answer them all. I always do. Like the videos, share, subscribe, whatever you can do. I'm going to let this ingest, filter through, and then I gotta go and update all the videos with some thumbnails, and I'll be back on in a little bit. Thanks, Crasher. I'll be back on within the hour to work on Rick and Morty. So if you want to hang out with Rick and Morty and Rob, come on over, hang out, Rick and Morty. We'll have some fun. So I'll see y'all then. Thanks, everybody. Rick and Morty coming soon.